Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. Alice is right here. Let's see if she'll make an appearance. You want to say hi? No? You just want to be in the middle of things? She's right here. You may hear her, you may see her. Anyway, it's Tuesday. It's Tag Tuesday. And I have to do this tag now. I was tagged in the April Showers tag here, like walking around over here. The April Showers tag by the Mild Rumpus. And I'm like, great, I'll wait for a rainy day to do this. And we haven't had one here in Oregon. Like, what? I don't understand this. But I also wanted to do it in April. So we're going to do this now, even though it's not rainy. So I don't have the rainy ambiance, but we're going to do it. So as I said, I was tagged by the Mild Rumpus, who is awesome. Go check him out. And this was created by Kat and Too Many Books and Jen's Reading Life. Oh, no, it wasn't. He was tagged by them. It was created by Sabrina at Beyond the Book Reviews, which I don't know if that's still a channel because he didn't tag them. But that's okay. I'll check. And if it is still an active channel, I'll tag them. You know how that works. You know, booktubers come, go. It's fine. Anyway, there are 10 questions. Some of these were a little hard for me to figure out, but we're going to do it here. Okay. The first question is, share a book with water on its cover. I do not have this book because I listened to it on audiobook, but this was really easy. And that was The Wager by Stephen Grant. This is his first name. I should have had it. It'll be there. You can see who it is. Like it's a boat on the ocean, so there's lots of water. It's a shipwreck nonfiction, very adventurous. We listened to it as a family in an audiobook in our impromptu car ride from Arizona to Oregon that we didn't expect to do. Thank you, COVID. We were all feeling better. Just, we didn't feel like we should be getting on a plane. But I was trying to find something that we would all enjoy. Actually, I shouldn't say we all enjoyed it because I think my daughter had her headphones on and was listening to something else. But my husband and my son and I. And something that we would all enjoy, the three of us. But I also needed something because I need to have something playing in the car or I get nervous. I'm like just anxious on the road. I'm an anxious driver. I'm an anxious passenger. So I need to have some kind of something going on. My husband was driving and it needed to be something that he liked or else, my God, I would never hear the end of it. And then I also wanted something that would interest my son so I wouldn't keep interrupting. And so I thought, shipwreck. And it worked. We really enjoyed this. It's shipwreck. It's great. It's nonfiction. Enjoy it. Get the audio because the narration by Dion Graham is fantastic. The next question, what's a classic novel you'd like to curl up on the couch with? So let me tell you about this. I have a book. Like it was an immediate answer. And I went to my bookshelf. I can't find my copy anywhere. I don't know what happened to my copy of Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is one of my comfort books. I love Jane Eyre. No clue where my copy is, so I guess I need a new copy of Jane Eyre. You know, a lot of my classics I have from my college classics, which are Penn classics, which are great. But I think that if I have to replace this one because I can't find it, I think I might go for like a really nice copy, a bound, maybe even hardcover. I don't know. But I love Jane Eyre. It's so comforting, even though I don't like Mr. Rochester. That's a whole thing. But you know, it's okay. It's okay to still find comfort and love in a book that you still kind of makes you mad at the end. You just want to shake Jane and go, you can do better. You can do better, girl. But, you know, whatever. It is just such a comfort to me. I love the language. I love the writing. Yeah, Jane Eyre. Question 3. Share a scary book you would read during a rainstorm. Okay, so this book immediately popped into my mind. And again, I don't have a copy of it because this time I gave my copy away to my nieces because I thought they would really like it. And that is The Whistling by Rebecca Netley. I read that last fall. It's very kind of gothic. It takes place in like an island off England or somewhere in the British Isles. And there's lots of stormy, windy, rainy weather in it. And that plays a big part in the story, the ambiance. And I think that's a great thing to read during a rainstorm. It's something that kind of brings it together. When I read, when there are other people in the house, which is always, I usually have my noise canceling headphones on with like some ambient noise. And I frequently listen to raindrops. So really anything I read would probably fit this prompt, but I liked that one because that one's scary. There you go. Okay. Next question. What's a good book recommendation for rainy days? So I could give you many, but I would think something for a rainy day, something that you could just kind of sink into. If you had a lot of time, you might be able to read it in one sitting because it's very engaging, but it's not overly taxing. And I came up with, I love this series, but it's The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood. This is the first one. And it is about, Marlowe is a town. A fictional town. I don't know. Maybe it's real. I don't know. It's in England. So it's like English village mystery. And the Marlowe Murder Club is made up of 3 women, all of whom are kind of invisible to society for different reasons, but they end up solving murders. It's really fun. Quite enjoy it. The next question is, what 2 characters would you like to spend a rainy day with? Well, they are from this book. Although I just pulled the first book out of the series, you actually get more of them in later books, but it is Clara Morrow and Myrna Landers from the 3 Pine series by Louise Penny. So this is the first one, Still Life, which I love. Not everyone likes the first couple books. I love all the books, but they're just like 2 women who just have fun together, and they're kind of always have each other's backs. They're the kind of like just, my cat is making all the noise she possibly can. At least it's not yowling. What are you doing? Okay. She might make an appearance. Anyway, just like a great friendship between these 2 women. Now, there's another woman who frequently comes in called Ruth Zardo. Probably not want to spend a rainy day with her unless I was kind of feeling a little masochistic, because she can be a little mean. But Clara and Myrna, definitely. I'm going to put this book to the side because you're going to see it again. Okay. Share a book that has blue on the cover artwork. I will never pass up a chance to talk about this book, and that is A Council of Dolls by Mona Susan Power, which is very blue. It is very blue, as you can see. This is Mona Susan Power is an Indigenous author, and this is a book where you follow 3 different women. It's a generational story, dealing with sort of generational trauma. And there's something in it that some people call magic realism. I don't actually call this magic realism because I think it's more of kind of like a manifestation issue. But they deal with a lot of trauma, and a lot of that trauma comes from family separation, thanks to the residential schools. But it's she tells the story in a very unique and engaging way. I quite liked it. But if you are someone who is creeped out by dolls, this book's probably not for you. There you go. The next question, what book has a rainy setting at some point? And I was like, rainy setting. And then it just, again, I am never going to pass up a chance to talk about this book. Mink River. It takes place on the Oregon coast. It rains 10 months out of the year there. Seriously. Oregon is just rainy. And the coast is damp. Like, if you've ever been to the Oregon coast, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. While I would love for you to come visit, please don't, because it's already crowded. But it does tend to rain there a lot. And it is, it's just a damp place. And this kind of captures that. It really captures the feel of the Oregon coast. And it reminds me, this author gave an interview once where he's not actually, he has since passed, but he was not originally from Oregon. He had met someone from Oregon and moved to Oregon. And he said he fell in love with Oregon in the springtime, but then he discovered it in the winter. It's 2 different, yeah. If you're from Oregon, you understand how that works. But wonderful book. I will never stop recommending this book, Mink River by Brian Doyle. Okay. What book would you not mind using as an umbrella? No surprise here, I do no longer have this book because I got rid of it, and that is The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. I know a lot of people who really love this book, so I may be the exception to the rule here, but I hated this book. And if I had to choose a book to put over my head, sacrifice a book for my own dryness, it would be that one. Also, I am from Oregon. We don't mind getting wet, so the fact that I'm willing to sacrifice says a lot about my feelings about this book. It just was not a book for me. I didn't DNF it because so many people I know whose tastes normally agree with mine really liked it. And I kept thinking something's got to happen at the end that it's going to get better. And it just wasn't a book for me. There you go. And then not finally, 2 more questions. Which character would you like to share an umbrella with? I'm going to bring Still Life back. And of course, Monsieur Armand Gamache, what is he? He's the chief inspector. He's actually various things throughout the series, but we're gonna say Chief Inspector Armand Gamache. He is a prince among men. He is like the most wonderful gentleman. He is just a wonderful human being. So wonderful. There's no other word I can say for him but wonderful. He's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But no, he's very kind. He's very considerate. He's very intelligent, but he's also very shrewd. I do think he is the sort of person who would share his umbrella with someone. So I'm going to say Armand Gamache. Finally, we had our last book. Share a novel that had a dry beginning and an amazing ending. And I'm going to be honest, I had a hard time with this one. Because if something has a really dry beginning, I'm not sure I'm going to make it to the amazing ending. Okay? But I did choose this one, and it doesn't quite fit, but I think it fits in my mind. I'm going to say it. And that is The Gingerbread Man by Joanna Correns. It is not that the beginning of this book is dry. It's that at the beginning of the book, you think this is something else. And it develops throughout the book. And it is not until the end of the book, which is amazing, that you realize what's really going on in it. That is a hard thing for an author to pull off. And Joanna Correns does it incredibly well. Like, I finished this book and I was like, oh, I totally get it now. I realized I was reading a completely different story than I thought. So really good. This is another book that I will always recommend. This is a horror novel, but it's not a gruesome horror novel. So if you're someone who, and it's not a scary horror novel, it's more of a creepy horror novel. So if you're someone who doesn't like horror because it's scary or gross, you might really want to read this one. This is much more adult fairy tale-ish with kind of, sort of eerie and creepy stuff, but nothing really scary. There we are, the April showers tag, and I am sorry, not really, but I had hoped to do this during April showers, that we would actually have April showers, and it hasn't worked out. I am not sorry that we haven't had April showers though, because I'm quite liking not having the rain, but there you go. I wanted to get this out in April. So I'm going to tag 3 people. My new kind of rule I've decided that works really well for me, is in tags where I'm tagged by someone else. So not an original tag, but tag and passing on. I'm only going to tag 3 people, because sometimes when you tag a bunch of people, I get, it's just hard. It's easier to just focus and say I have 3 slots. So I'm choosing 3 people who are Pacific Northwesterners, because they know all about rain. The first person I'm going to tag is Hillary at Book Bustle. She was just at the Oregon coast, so she can tell you about rain. The Oregon coast. But yes, so Hillary at Book Bustle. And then Talia at Bandana Book Mom. Did I get that channel right? I know I have her name, and I know there's bandanas and books, but she is so much fun. But she lives just north of me. So she's in the same general area that I am. And then finally, Lindsay Reeds, who lives in my general area, and she's a transplant. Like, she came to this area. So I would be interested to see what her thoughts on rain are. So those are the 3 people I'm tagging. But if you have not been tagged by someone else and you want to do this, consider yourself tagged. Just tag me back so I can be sure to see your video, because I do want to see it. So thank you very much. And thank you to the Mild Rumpus. Again, check out his channel. Thank you for tagging me. Sorry that there's no rain involved. Like, subscribe, and I'll see, join my Discord, because we can talk about rain in my Discord, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.